What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. Today I have an NU match. This one is against Josh, and I decided to throw together a pretty interesting team here. I kind of really wanted to use Dunsparce for some reason. He was just chilling in my boxes. He's like, I haven't been used in forever, please take me out of here. So I think it would be hilarious to get a Dunsparce sweep just because you never see that happen. But nobody ever uses this guy either. He's fucking awesome. But yeah, other than that, I have some pretty awesome threats on my team. I have the Rotom, I have freaking Skuntank, overall some pretty cool stuff. And then on my opponent's side, I'm kind of afraid of the Malamar, as well as the Swellow could do some damage. This guy's got both a Garbodor and a Weezing, so I'm gonna have to see what I can do with that. I only have Psyshock as my psychic attack for Xatu, so it's gonna hit for physical damage on the Weezing. That thing could be a problem as well, but let's go ahead and hop into the battle here. So I'm going to lead off with my Game Boy Luke Rotom, as he leads off with his Regirock, I believe. So my plan here is to pretty much just go for the trick on the first turn. I know that his lead is probably not going to enjoy a Choice Scarf, so Luke goes ahead and steals his item, in the process gives him a Choice Scarf, and a Choice Scarfed Regirock is probably not the most ideal, as I steal his Rocky Helmet, which really isn't that bad. And on the first turn, he actually went for the Thunder Wave. I mean, I'm guessing he expected me to just go for the Volt Switch on the first turn, but doesn't happen, as now he's going to switch into his Gastrodon as I freaking miss a Will-O-Wisp, so that's kind of annoying. But this allows me to now switch into my Vileplume, my pretty much direct counter to Gastrodon here, as he actually sets up a stockpile, which was kind of interesting to me, considering I do have a grass type in the back of my team. I don't really know why he was setting up that early, but he decides to get the hell out of there because he doesn't want to get his fucking life sucked out of him by a Giga Drain. So he's going to go into his Weezing as I go for a Sleep Powder and actually miss. So I've missed both of my status moves already, which is pretty lame, but you know, what are you going to do? So here I decide to switch into Xatu here, as he actually goes for the Infestation, which is kind of weird because you don't see Weezing running that all that often, so he's going to get hit by the Rocky Helmet. And it'd actually be kind of cool if he got hit by the Rocky Helmet every time Infestation touches me, but it kind of makes sense that he doesn't. But yeah, so here I decided to go for the U-turn, really expecting him to switch out, kind of trying to bluff the fact that I have Psychic potentially, but he actually stays in, and my U-turn hits the freaking Weezing right in the face, as now I decide to switch back into my Rotom here, as he just goes straight for a Flamethrower, and it actually gets the burn, so that's kind of annoying. Luke is just getting freaking burned over here. He's just not having it. So getting hurt by my burn, I honestly just kind of want to hit this thing with a powerful special attack, just because the Weezing is going to be a problem for me later on. So I just decided to go straight for the Thunderbolts, as he's just going to go back into his freaking Regirock here, who is Choice Scarfed. So I'm assuming he probably has Stealth Rock, and we already saw Thunder Wave, so there's only a couple options he has for attacking moves. And here I expect him to go for like a Rock Slide or something, so I decided to bring in my Vileplume, as he actually sets up Stealth Rock. So he's going to Pelvic Thrust some Stealth Rocks onto my side of the field, as he's now going to switch out of here, as I believe I go for the Sleep Powder, as he actually brings in his Swellow, which was a risky move. I guess he was expecting me to just Giga Drain, but now his Swellow is asleep, so you paid the price there, buddy. Now I just want to get a better matchup, so I'm going to switch back into my Rotom here, as he's actually just going to stay in and burn a turn of sleep, I believe. So Luke goes ahead and gets hurt by some Stealth Rock, really not that big of a deal, as yeah, he's sleeping away over here, tossing Z's around. So I get hurt by my burn a little bit, and here I actually expect him to switch into his Gastrodon, kind of predicting the Thunderbolt. So I actually go for the Shadow Ball, as he actually just brings back out the Regirock. So he's going to take a Shadow Ball to the face, just throwing my balls at you, as it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, obviously. And at this point, I can't really switch out because I'm just going to die to Stealth Rock. So I decide to stay in and try to get a little more damage, as Regirock actually protects, which is kind of annoying because that's going to make me die to my burn, which is unfortunate. But at least I know that this thing is Choice Scarfed into Protect, which is kind of funny. So here I take the opportunity to switch into Derp. He's all confused. He comes out here nice and shiny. He's got his pink stripes. Look at this thing's little wings. I fucking love Dunsparce. He deserves a Mega or something. He's awesome. But yeah, so he's just over here flapping his wings as he decides to switch into his Malamar here, as I get one Coil up. So that's going to raise my attack and defense and accuracy, I guess. But yeah, so I'm going to get some leftovers, pretty much back at full health, and I'm afraid of the Malamar going for the Superpower, but he actually goes straight for the Topsy-Turvy, which you really do not see a lot. So he's going to actually reverse my stat changes, so now I have -1 attack and -1 defense, as I'm able to go for the Glare and actually get this thing paralyzed. But honestly, I did not expect to see the Topsy-Turvy coming, so that's kind of annoying. Dunsparce is not going to get the sweep yet, as I'm not going to switch out into my Hariyama here, which was a risky play. I kind of expected him just to go straight for the Superpower, as he does, and it's not going to be able to do a whole lot of damage to me, as he's going to get his attack raise and defense and stuff. Freaking upside down squid over here putting in work, honestly. So here I sort of expected him to switch, so I go for the knockoff, kind of expecting the Weezing to come out, but he actually stays in and goes for an Aerial Ace, which definitely had me pretty confused. He really should have gone for the Psycho Cut. I don't know if his Malamar doesn't have Psycho Cut, but yeah, so Aerial Ace is what he has for fighting types, and now this allows me to go for a close combat, but to my surprise it actually doesn't end up taking out the Malamar. That one defense boost from the damn superpower allows him to live it, as now he's able to finish me off with one more Aerial Ace. I honestly didn't even know this thing could Aerial Ace, but you know, you learn something new every day. So at this point now I'm able to bring in my Skuntank, as I'm able to go for the Pursuit, just in case he wanted to switch out, just to ensure that this thing dies, and down goes the Squid. So no more topsy-turvying for you, little guy. So at this point, he gets a free switch into whatever the hell he wants, and he decides to go into his big shiny trash bag. So I don't really have anything to hit that with Skuntank, so I decide now to switch back into Dunsparce. I know I'm relatively bulky, and I kind of want to see what this thing's going to go for, as he actually goes for the Smackdown. So he's going to go ahead and smack down my Dunsparce, make me all flat and stuff, trying to make me into a damn Stunfisk, as it doesn't really do a whole lot of damage, and I'm like, okay, maybe Dunsparce can start setting up now. I don't have that damn Malamar in the way anymore, so let's see what we can do. He's going to switch into his other poison type, the Weezing, as I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Glare, and I look at this thing, and that somehow paralyzes him. He's like afraid of Dunsparce for some reason. But yeah, so Weezing's over there nice and scared and paralyzed, as I see this as an opportunity to start setting up some coils, but then I'm like, wait, hold on, he's probably going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, as most Weezings do, so I'm going to switch into my Xatu here, trying to just negate the Will-O-Wisp here, and then just get a better matchup. So he actually gets paralyzed, he's unable to move there, as here at this point I still expected him to have Will-O-Wisp. And I was kind of like, shit, that's going to ruin my Dunsparce sweep if he does have it, so I wanted to hold off for a little bit. So I'm just going to go for the Psyshock, as he's now going to switch into his Regirock again, nice and Choice Scarfed and fun stuff like that. So here I'm just going to go for the Roost, because I expect him to just go for a Rock move. So if I lose my Flying type temporarily, and kind of going to scout out what he wants to go for, but he actually goes for the Thunder Wave, I'm guessing expecting a switch yet again. But it's going to bounce back at him, and now it paralyzes himself. So that Regirock, both times he's tried to Thunder Wave, has failed. So I feel bad. Sorry about that, buddy. But yeah, so now he's going to switch back into his Weezing, as I'm just going to go for the U-turn, expecting the switch. I knew he was locked into Thunder Wave on a Pokemon who can't be freaking paralyzed, so he had to switch, and the U-turn allows me to get the matchup against the Weezing. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to bring out Dunsparce. If he does have Will-O-Wisp, fuck it, I have Roost on this thing. Honestly, losing health from burn really won't be that big of a deal, and I could potentially just start setting up enough coils to the point where it really wouldn't matter, plus the defense would be nice anyway. So I'm like, okay, let's just start coiling up here, Dunsparce. Let's do our thing, buddy, as he shows me that he actually just goes straight for the Flamethrower, which definitely tells me he does not have Will-O-Wisp, so I'm guessing he's hoping for the Flamethrower burn, as he doesn't get it, and I'm like, hell yeah, Dunsparce, we are about to do some damage, bro. So we're gonna go ahead and coil again, just out here like a snake. I don't know how the hell this thing coils. It doesn't seem like he's like long enough to be able to coil up, but you know, whatever. I'm not judging you, Dunsparce. So now he goes for the Sludge Bomb. I mean, he's just honestly trying to get some stab damage, as I actually have Roost, so I don't even care about your damage, bruh. Gonna go ahead and lay on the ground like I already am. And it's funny this thing can learn Roost, because it can't even really fly, so it's always roosting, but you know, whatever. So I'm pretty much back at full, looking nice and healthy here, as I'm gonna go for one more coil. I wasn't really sure how many I would need, but I just go for another one, get me at +3, and I'm feeling pretty confident about that. So he's going to go for another Flamethrower. He doesn't get the burn. I was like, thank God, the stars are aligning for Dunsparce here. Derpsparce is about to fucking rampage. So I'm going to go for the Headbutts, and I go ahead and get the flinch, so fucking Serene Grace doing its magic. If you're unaware, honestly, Dunsparce, the only really thing this thing has going for it is the fact that it has the Serene Grace ability, so that increases the chance of secondary effects to happen. So if you have a Pokemon paralyzed, you can pretty much get him to either be paralyzed or flinch, like every time. So Dunsparce is kind of an asshole, but he deserves it if he's able to get it to set up. So Dunsparce over here flapping his wings like a fucking monster, and one more headbutt is going to finish off the Weezing. So I killed the Weezing, and I'm still at like full health, so Dunsparce is looking pretty damn nice. So at this point, he can switch into whatever he wants, and he decides to go into the Gastrodon. So the freaking snail comes out, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to go for the Glare, because it's always hilarious being able to paralyze ground types. So You don't see that very often, as he's actually just going to go for the Toxic, which is kind of unfortunate for Dunsparce just because it's going to limit the amount of time I can have on the battlefield. I really want to get finish off the rest of the match with a sweep with Dunsparce, so it's kind of a race against time now with the freaking poison. So I'm going to go for the headbutt. I actually get a critical hit, and he gets paralyzed there. So I was like, holy shit, Dunsparce, you are the hacks master. Had I not gotten a critical hit, I probably would have gotten like a flinch or something like that, but yeah, so unfortunately, the Gastrodon isn't able to take another headbutt. It was looking like it was probably going to be potentially a 2-hit KO anyway, but another headbutt is going to take out the snail, and Dunsparce is just tearing through this man's team right now, honestly. Exactly what I wanted to happen is happening, and Dunsparce is killing it. So I'm going to get hurt by my poison a little bit. It's unfortunate I got that critical hit because I would have taken a little more poison damage, but really not that big of a deal, as now he's going to bring back out his Swellow, who is still freaking sleeping. This thing is just sleeping on the job, man. Been asleep the whole entire battle, and now he goes down to a headbutt from a Dunsparce, which is kind of hilarious because if you think about it, Dunsparce is literally like food for a freaking Swellow. So seeing that thing go down to a Dunsparce is pretty funny, as I'm still getting hurt by my poison, just kind of stacking up a little bit here, as now he goes into his full health Garbodor, and he actually ends up going straight for the explosion. He's like, you know what the fuck, boom, and he just goes ahead and explodes on my face, and that's not going to do a whole lot of damage to me because of all the defense boosts, but here I really wish I went for Roost because I honestly did not expect him to go for the explosion, but he does. Had I gone for the Roost there, I would have been able to finish off the match with Dunsparce, but I lived this next poison with 3 HP, and his last Pokemon is the Regirock. But it's looking like he still has enough health to be able to take at least one headbutt. So I go for the headbutts. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but check it out. I do get the flinch. So Dunsparce, even though I'm about to die, is still just fucking causing trouble out here. So I am going to go down to my poison, which is unfortunate, but good job, Dunsparce. You did your damn thing. So I am going to die, but at this point, all he has left is his Regirock, so this allows me to get a free switch into Pepe Le Pew here, and a Sucker Punch is going to finish off the Regirock. So that was a pretty interesting battle. I kind of just wanted to show off Dunsparce just because I fucking love this thing, and it doesn't get enough recognition. So thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.